baby name immediately makes you lose all respect for the parents and why. A few years ago, I was volunteering at my son's elementary school during their spring carnival. I was helping at the face painting booth, which mostly involved turning sticky 6-year-olds into tigers and butterflies. Around lunchtime, I heard a woman calling for her daughter. "Come here, sweetie. Hurry up." I didn't pay attention at first. Then she said the little girl's name. I froze. Surely I'd misheard. A few seconds later, she called again. The same name. This time I heard it perfectly. I actually stopped painting halfway through a butterfly wing because the little girl's name was Aryan. Now, before anyone jumps in, I know that in many cultures, especially in South Asia, Aryan is a perfectly normal name with ancient origins. But that's not where this story is going, because the mother's accent was unmistakably American, and she was talking to another parent about how she just made the name up because it sounded powerful. I tried to ignore it. Maybe it was just an unfortunate coincidence. Then the little girl ran over. She had blonde pigtails, and on her backpack, in giant glitter letters, was her full name, Aryan Nation Smith. I felt every drop of blood leave my face. I genuinely thought I was hallucinating. For context, my grandfather fought in World War II. My great-grandmother escaped Germany as a teenager. I grew up hearing stories about what hatred can do when ordinary people stop paying attention. Seeing that name on a tiny pink backpack was like getting hit in the chest. The mother noticed me staring. She smiled proudly. "Pretty unique, right?" I honestly didn't know what to say. I finally managed, "How did you come up with it?" She laughed. "Oh, my husband wanted something that sounded strong and patriotic." Then she added the sentence that somehow made everything worse. "We found it on an internet forum." An internet forum? Fantastic. I asked if she knew what the phrase meant. She looked confused. "No, why?" At this point, I thought maybe she was joking. She wasn't. She had absolutely no idea. Neither did her husband. Apparently, they thought it sounded historical. I looked at this little girl, who couldn't have been older than 7, happily eating cotton candy, completely unaware that her backpack basically contained a hate slogan. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to walk away. Part of me wanted to scream. Instead, I quietly explained. I explained where the phrase came from. I explained its connection to white supremacist groups. I explained why some people would react very badly to hearing it. The mother's smile slowly disappeared. Then she looked at her daughter, then back at me. Then she whispered, "Oh my God." Her face turned completely white. She pulled out her phone. A minute later, she looked like she was about to cry. Apparently, this was the first time she'd ever Googled her daughter's full name. She sat down on a nearby bench. I actually felt bad for her, because the horror on her face was real. She kept saying, "We didn't know. We didn't know." Then she started crying. I thought it sounded pretty. A few minutes later, her husband arrived. She showed him the search results. I've never seen someone's expression change so quickly. The man looked physically ill. They spent the next 20 minutes apologizing to me, to other parents, to practically anyone who walked by. The husband kept muttering, "We named our child what?" Here's the part I'll never forget. Their little girl walked over and asked, "Mommy, why are you crying?" The mother hugged her and said, "Because Mommy and Daddy made a really big mistake." A few months later, I got an email from the school. The family had legally changed their daughter's name. Apparently, the process was expensive and took forever, but they did it. The little girl got a fresh start. And honestly, I respected the parents more for fixing their mistake than I did for making it.